Welcome to Entertainment Hub. Today we're unpacking the internet's newfound obsession with one of the most intriguing and unsettling genres out there, found footage. Whether it's movies like Creep and VHS, YouTube's growing fixation with the Backrooms, or the endless stream of eerie discovered tapes populating our social feed, found footage has become a cornerstone of modern horror, and it's not going anywhere. But how did this genre begin? Why are so many people drawn to its uniquely terrifying approach? And what is it about found footage that continues to evolve and remain relevant in a media landscape that's more crowded than ever? Let's rewind the tape, trace the origins, and explore how this genre has evolved to capture and terrify our collective imagination. Found footage as a genre is rooted in one core idea: authenticity. These are stories that blur the lines between fiction and reality, often presented as raw, unedited recordings discovered after something horrifying had happened. It's a simple premise, but one that taps into our deepest fears. And while it feels distinctly modern, the seeds of found footage horror go way back. Let's start in 1980 with the release of Cannibal Holocaust, often cited as the first ever found footage horror film. It's infamous for its shock factor and relentless realism. Director Ruggero Deodato went so far as to make his cast sign agreements to disappear from public life for a year, adding to the illusion that the footage was real. The marketing leaned heavily on this, leading some audiences and even authorities to believe that they were watching an actual snuff film. It was gruesome, exploitative, and undeniably effective at shaking audiences to the core. Fast forward almost 2 decades, and the genre really found its footing with the Blair Witch Project. In 1999, this indie horror film captivated and terrified millions, grossing nearly $25 million on a budget of $60,000. Its brilliance lay in its simplicity. A group of filmmakers lost in the woods, their footage discovered after they vanished. The film's marketing campaign was revolutionary, using early internet forums and viral marketing to convince people the footage was real. It wasn't just a movie, it was an experience. What made the Blair Witch Project so groundbreaking wasn't just the raw, shaky footage or the eerie silence of the woods. It was the sense of mystery. Viewers didn't know what was real and what was staged. And even though it was debunked countless times since, that initial ambiguity made the fear hit deeper. From there, the genre exploded. Films like Paranormal Activity redefined what could be achieved with a tiny budget, proving that a few security cameras and some clever editing could create one of the most profitable horror franchises in history. Meanwhile, Cloverfield brought found footage into the blockbuster space, combining kaiju chaos with handheld terror. And of course there's Rec and its American remake Quarantine, which turned claustrophobic zombie horror into an adrenaline-fueled nightmare. But while found footage flourished in film, its real evolution happened online. Enter the internet. The rise of YouTube in the mid-2000s brought the format into people's homes in a way that movies couldn't. Channels like Marble Hornets transformed a then-nascent internet legend, Slenderman, into a sprawling, episodic horror story told entirely through found clips. It was lo-fi, unpolished, and absolutely terrifying. Marble Hornets set the template for how horror could thrive online, proving that storytelling didn't need Hollywood budgets to be effective. It just needed to feel real. And this brings us to the present, where found footage has taken on a life of its own. Look at the Backrooms, for instance. What began as a single unsettling image of a yellow liminal space has blossomed into a sprawling multimedia phenomenon. YouTuber creators like Kane Pixels have taken this concept and ran with it, crafting entire cinematic universes out of glitchy VHS-style footage. Why does it work so well? Part of it is the aesthetic. Found footage often leans into nostalgia, using grainy film, distorted audio, and analog equipment to evoke a sense of unease. These aren't polished, high-budget productions. They feel raw and intimate, like you're watching something you shouldn't. And when you pair that with the uncanny locations, like the endless fluorescent-lit hallways of the Backrooms, it taps into a primal kind of fear, the fear of the unknown, the unexplainable, and the uncanny. But it's not just the aesthetics. Found footage also thrives on its ability to immerse viewers in the story. Unlike traditional horror, when you're watching events unfold from a safe distance, found footage puts you directly in the action. The camera's perspective becomes your perspective. Every shaky movement, every muffled scream, every fleeting shadow feels like it's happening to you. That immediacy makes the scares hit harder. So why is it so popular right now? One reason might be our cultural obsession with authenticity. In an age of heavily curated social media and deepfakes, found footage feels refreshing and terrifyingly real. It's a genre that thrives on imperfections, on the little details that make something feel genuine. Another factor is its accessibility of the format. Anyone with a camera and a good idea can make found footage horror. It's democratic in a way that few other genres are, allowing creators to experiment without the constraints of big studios or budgets. This has led to a surge in creativity, with filmmakers and YouTubers finding new ways to tell stories within the format. Finally, there's the psychological aspect. Found footage taps into the fears that are deeply personal, yet universally understood. The fear of being alone, the fear of being watched, the fear of encountering something you can't explain. It's horror at its most intimate and unsettling. Looking ahead, the genre shows no signs of slowing down. With advances in technology, we're likely to see even more innovative takes on the found footage. The possibilities are endless and terrifying. So whether it's movies like Creep or VHS, internet phenomena like the Backrooms, or the next great viral horror sensation, found footage remains a genre that evolves with us, reflecting our fears, our anxieties, and our fascination with the unknown. It's raw, real, and more popular than ever. Thanks for watching Entertainment Hub. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe for more. And let us know in the comments, what's your favorite found footage story?